And what greater adventure is there than reading a book that takes you to a faraway land and away from the comfort of your own home and or television studio? While some would argue that reading is a lazy person's game, enjoyed only by ne'er-do-wells who prefer to have books spell words for them, I disagree. And I put it to all of you that spelling and reading can live together in harmony in this very round. We're not going on this adventure alone, by the way, so please welcome the biggest bookworm I know. It's Chen! Hey, Aaron, hang on. I was under the impression that you like books.
I do, Guy. That's why I have so many. But, by the way, a lot of them have ideas I disagree with.
What? You're not going to burn those books, are you?
What gives you that idea? Oh. This. No, that's because I'm about to fill up my car so I can do a trip and buy more books for my pile.
I'll be watching you closely, Aaron. OK, contestants, behind Aaron and his book pile, you'll see the covers of 4 books written by Guy Montgomery. Aaron, you may reveal the books. The Thrilling Adventures of Dick and Fanny. Morph Mates, Book 37, The Brisbaning. Hello, God. I'd like my period now, please. And, of course, The Big Switcheroo. Now, you will each take turns as selecting one of these books, and I will read them to you, somewhat like the classic choose-your-own-adventure books of our youth. These hefty tomes require you to make decisions in the form of spelling. Throughout your story, I'll give you the choice of 2 words to spell. Spell it correctly, you get a point, and your story continues. Spell it incorrectly, and you die. But beware. If you make a wrong decision in your journey, even a correct spelling could also lead to your perilous demise. To further immerse you in your chosen adventure, Aaron has opted to play some of the characters in the books.
Guy has allowed me to play any Asian characters. You just point at me when the character is Asian and I'll read their lines. I'm looking for interesting 3-dimensional characters, not just stereotypes.
Yeah, absolutely. I would never. OK. On to the books. And currently in last place, we have Susie on -1. You can choose first. Which of these 4 choose-your-own-adventure books would you like to take?
I would love to take Hello, God. I'd like my period now, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly.
Good choice. It's good.
The summer holidays have come to a close and you're on your way to school. Your rich but neglectful parents have sent you in an Uber. You leave the car and say thank you to your driver, who replies, "You're welcome," and drives off. Today is your first day back since you turned 13. You really are a young woman. Well, maybe more of an old girl. You still haven't had your first period. As you look ahead, you see a school filled with girls passing around pads and tampons, complaining about cramps and calling each other blood sisters. You're intimidated. You know you'll be bullied if they find out. Do you A, avoid embarrassment and wag, or B, walk into school and pretend you have experienced menstruation?
The second one.
Menstruation?
Yeah.
Your spelling word is menstruation.
MENSTRUATION.
That is correct!
Yay!
On 0!
I did it!
Back to the start. You strut around the school telling anyone who will listen that you have your period right at this very moment, but not everyone believes you. Stacey, the hottest girl at school, and that's according to the other school-aged people and not the 36-year-old man reading this book, by the way. Stacey, the hottest girl at school, walks right up to you.
I don't believe you. If you really have your period, show us what you're using.
She points at your backpack. Do you A, admit it's all been a lie, or B, use the contents of your bag to improvise?
The MacGyver option, please.
Your word is improvise.
IMPROVISE.
That is correct! Stacey unzips your backpack and its contents fall across the floor. You look down and scramble to explain the lack of period products. I use this, as you pick up your 2B5 notebook and start ripping out the pages. I just scrunch up the pages and it works great. Suddenly, your English teacher walks down the hallway. I was just looking for you. Do you have your summer homework? You look down. The homework you spent months on is now scrunched up in your pants. Do you A, tell your teacher where to stick it by giving her the finger? Or B, avoid handing in the homework by using subterfuge?
The first one.
All right, well, your word is finger.
F-I-N-G-E-R.
That is correct. The intense fire which propels you to raise your finger provides your body with just what it needs to finally click it to adulthood, and the first drop of blood leaks out. That's how it works, right? You remove the blood-soaked homework from your pants in victory. The other students cheer and applaud. You've passed, declares your teacher. The students raise you on their shoulders to carry you around the school. However, no one notices the low-hanging, high-speed ceiling fan that was installed during the break. You're decapitated, with a smile plastered across your face because you died a full-grown woman. That is the end of your adventure.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations, Susie and Aaron, a powerhouse performance. Stacey, can you tell us a little bit about your process there?
I only realised halfway through the performance Stacey was a hot girl.
Who are you playing her as?
Russell Crowe.
Dilruk, I'm going to give you the next opportunity to read. Which book would you like to explore?
Oh, I have to, something I've read many a time, so I have to go to my favourite, The Thrilling Adventures of Dick and Fanny.
Very well. The Thrilling Adventures of Dick and Fanny, it shall be. You arrive at the door of 11 Sweet Butter Lane to meet your new neighbours, Dick and Fanny, who are gobbling down radish pie with lashings of treacle. Hello, you say, and tell them your name. What a queer name, says Fanny. And she means queer as in weird. Would you like to come on an adventure to an abandoned shipwreck? Do you A, question whether children should be adventuring unsupervised, or B, simply agree and say, jolly good?
Oh, I have to say, jolly good.
Your word is jolly good.
Okay, Jolly-G-O-O-D.
That is correct. You accept the invitation and head out the door, not before scarfing back some of that delicious radish pie with lashings of treacle. You stride along the waterfront, just 3 unsupervised children and the harsh waves of the British coast lapping against the seaside.
The shipwreck is just out yonder.
Dick exclaims, pointing to the horizon.
Let's swim out and explore.
You take off your shoes and begin to wade out, keeping your eyes out for the bandits and thieves one would no doubt expect to run into at a shipwreck. Unfortunately, the thing you should have really been worried about was indigestion. As the water begins to cover your head, the radish pie and treacle you ate just 29 minutes ago start thrashing around in your stomach, causing you to thrash around in the ocean. All 3 of you die of indigestion just 5 metres from the coastline. Brutal. 1 point and a quick death. Can you tell us a little bit about that performance, Aaron?
That performance was based on the country of Britain.
OK, up next we have Virginia. There's 2 books to choose from.
I think I'm going to go with my absolute favourite genre, which is a body swap. I would like the big switcheroo, please.
All right, the big switcheroo it shall be. It's your 17th birthday and your loving, if occasionally distant father has taken you out to dinner at a Chinese restaurant. After a delicious meal, the waiter approaches your table. Here are your fortune cookies, says Tobias, the waiter. You and your father scoff the cookies so fast you don't even read the fortunes. If you had, you would have heeded the cryptic warning within. Don't piss into the same body of water at the same time or you'll switch bodies. But what are the chances of that happening? On the walk home, you pass a wishing well that's just begging to be pissed in. Shall we? Your dad proposes. The next morning, you wake up to find that you've become your dad. Uh-oh, looks like there's been a body swap. Do you A, scream out in terror, or B, go about your morning ablutions?
B, go about my morning ablutions.
Your word is ablutions.
Alrighty. A-B-L-U-T-I-O-N-S.
That is correct!
Yes!
Well done, Virginia! You walk to the shower and turn it to hot. What the heck is going on, you wonder? While everything feels different, it's not until you disrobe that you notice the biggest difference between you and your dad. The man has the most enormous and beautiful penis you've ever seen. Worse still, seeing it makes you realise how weird and curly yours is by comparison. Suddenly, there's a knock at the door. "I think we've body swapped," you hear your own voice say, "and I really need to pee." Oh, no. If he pees, you'll find out about your curly whirly. Do you A, keep him out of the bathroom by turning the lock, or B, leave the house right now because you're late for rehearsal?
Leave the house right now. I'm late for rehearsal.
Your word is rehearsal.
R-E-H-E-A-R-S-A-L.
That is correct! You burst out of the bathroom and fly past your dad, who looks like you. "Don't try to uncurl it, it doesn't work," you call out as you race out the front door into your band rehearsal. You arrive at rehearsal for the Linkin Park-style hip-hop nu metal band you're in, and your crush, Jessica the bassist, looks you up and down.
Mr. Williams, what are you doing here?
Do you A, risk alienating your friends by telling the truth, or B, show them an old man could be in the band with some impressive musical extemporization?
I'm going to go option 1. Thank you very much.
Your word is truth.
T-R-U-T-H.
That is correct!
Thank you very much.
You explain to the band that you've swapped bodies with your dad, but in doing so, spend far more time than you should discussing the specifics of the anatomical differences. You can see your bandmates are confused, so you drop your trousers to show them what you're talking about at the exact moment a police officer walks by.
Yeah, obviously you're under arrest forever, mate, so...
You die in prison.
Yeah, that feels right. That feels right.
But well done, Virginia!
Thank you.
At last, we have Kirsty. You've got no choice left. Are you ready to experience Morph Mates Book 37, The Brisbaneing?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Right. The bell rings. Finally, school is over for the day. You're rushing out when the best math student in the whole school stops you and says, "Do you want to meet up and finish our homework?" But you don't have time for homework. It's time to secretly meet up with your group of friends, all of whom have recently acquired the ability to transform into any animal, thanks to some secret alien technology explained in the previous 36 books. These are your mates who can morph. Your morph mates. You check your watch to realise you're running late, so you better get to morphing. How are you going to get there? By morphing into A, a bee, or B, a gazelle?
A gazelle.
Your word is gazelle.
G-A-Z-E-L-L-E.
That is correct! You arrive at the Morph Mates meeting at the abandoned library just in time. But for some reason, everyone seems mad. "What the hell were you thinking?" yells Johnny. "We're trying to keep our morph powers a secret, and here you are, morphing into a goddamn gazelle on the streets of suburban Brisbane. You're really stretching the concept of morph mate mateship here, mate." It's pretty tense. How do you address the situation? Do you A, tell Johnny to chill, or B, rage out and morph into a taunting kookaburra?
Tell him to chill.
Your word is chill.
C-H-I-L-L.
That is correct! "Chill, Johnny," you say casually. "At the end of the day, we're all morph mates." "You're right," sighs Johnny. "Some days the burden of being a morph mate weighs heavy on my shoulders." "Hug it out?" "How about a bear hug?" you reply, as you simultaneously start morphing into an Asian black bear.
Wow, I love my new form.
You say. Mid-hug, though, the door to the abandoned library explodes off its hinges. It's Brisbane City Council Animal Control. "Yeah, we heard reports of a gazelle running in here," they say, before opening fire on the entire room, causing you and your morph mates to morph one final time into heavenly angels because you're dead. A wonderful round of Spell Your Own Adventure and some beautiful acting from Aaron. Thanks a lot, Aaron. We'll see you later.
See you later, guys.